the big reveal. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Holistic Homemaker channel. My name is Jenna. Today we are doing a reveal. In this space, we knit things, we sew things, we bake things, we do mom things. We do lots of things from scratch. And today, it's super exciting. I finished my longest living whip. It's my first official make of the year. So I have never knit a sweater before. I have knit socks. I have knit skirts. I have knit all kinds of other projects that were very complicated, but I've never tackled a sweater. I don't know why I'm out of breath right now, but it's just where I'm at in life today. So I knit this sweater with the intention of making the Meryl Stripe sweater from Wool and the Gang. Upon reading the pattern, I realized I don't have the brain capacity to learn brioche. So I immediately decided this is going to be a 1x1. So I did 1x1 ribbing for the whole project, and the pattern ended up being kind of a mix-up. So I started this project last year in the summertime, and then when I started my Stephen West sock, I put it on pause, and then I worked it back up again, and then I started gift knits, and then I put it on pause. So I'd only had one panel done for this entirety, and then come January, I then finished the sleeves and the back panel. Now, I knit this with the Sugar Baby alpaca and the mohair that Wool and the Gang sells. I don't remember what it's called, whatever their mohair is called, in the mauve purple color and then in the white color. And what I did was I did a double strand. The pattern for the Meryl Stripe sweater called for just the Sugar Baby alpaca. I wanted something fuzzy. I also had a zillion pounds of mohair that I desperately wanted out of my stash, which puts me back into one of my original goals of clearing my stash. So this project was a huge stash buster. It was great because I was able to get rid of like 11 skeins of yarn, including every single itty bitty little bit. I had this much left of mohair. The last strand, the last row in one of these arms, you can't even tell, is not even mohair because I ran out. So it's fantastic. I have no more. I don't want to buy it again because it was really hard on my hands. So I used the Sugar Baby alpaca double stranded with mohair. So what I did was I worked 6 rows of purple, 4 rows of white with purple mohair. I didn't want these big, bold, blocky stripes. I'm not a horizontal person. So I wanted it to kind of be ashy. So instead of doing white with white and purple with purple, I did purple throughout the entire thing, and just every 6 rows I did 4 rows of white mixed with the purple mohair, and I think it turned out great. I love that it's like a subtle stripe. I think it's super cute. It fits over my head, and honestly, that's all that matters. Didn't follow the pattern at all. The only things that I kind of ended up putting this pattern together myself because I got frustrated with the pattern, mainly because I wasn't doing brioche, so a lot of instructions weren't accurate to what I was doing. But the only thing I really did to the pattern was the number of stitches to do per panel. So I think it was 56. I think it was 56 for the front and 56 for the back for the cast on. And that's all I did because the length was supposed to be like double the size of this sweater, and I hated that. I didn't want something crazy long. I also know that alpaca stretches a lot, so I did not want something that was going to just hang on me. I wanted a sweater. So the only thing I really followed on that pattern, to be completely honest, was just the amount of stitches to cast on, which is bold considering I've never made a sweater before. But I followed it all the way up here. I cast off 16 on each side, and then the rest I knit up for the collar, and I did the same thing on the back, and then I got to the arms. And I was like, okay, I don't know how to make sleeves. And when you don't know how to make sleeves, that's tricky when you're making a sweater. So I did know how to pick up stitches though. And because I've never panel knit before, realized I don't love it. It makes it feel like it goes on for an eternity. I feel like I'd rather just have the one piece instead of paneling. I didn't appreciate panel knitting. But with the sleeves, I was like, ooh, I do know how to pick up stitches from my sock adventures. So I picked up 30 stitches along my armhole. What I did was I sewed the panels together and I tried it on, and then I just adjusted where I wanted the armpits to be. I know I keep looking because I'm making sure that I'm like showing where it's supposed to be. But I picked up 30 stitches on each sleeve, and I just knit and kept trying it on until it got to about here on my wrist, and then I was able to block it to where it would fall a little bit nicer. It was really fun to knit up, I will admit. It did knit up really, really fast, but it was tricky having never done it before and not following any particular instruction. I'm honestly stunned at the fit of this because I kind of just made it up. I feel like brioche is something that I would like to learn how to do, but I just don't have I have the ability. I just don't have the brain capacity to fit that into life right now because it just seems too intricate, and I need something that I can just... And with the 1x1, before I blocked it, it was like it was snug and it was thick. It's still pretty thick, but honestly, now that it's been blocked and like fully dried, there's lots of really nice gaps between it. Because I used the 10.5 needle size, the stitches are really loose and it's much more breathable than I thought it was going to be. It feels really nice. It's also not as itchy as I thought it was going to be, which is exciting because I was really worried that I was going to absolutely hate wearing this. But it turns out I actually love wearing this, and I think that it looks super cute, but I feel like it turned out really nice. I think that the color looks really good. I think that the fit around my collar looks really nice, and I love the length of it. It goes right, right to my hips. And so even if I'm lifting or doing whatever, everything is still covered at an appropriate level. I think that that's great. The yarn, I really liked working with the Sugar Baby alpaca. I still have, for my birthday last year, my mom got me a gift card to a local knit shop that sells Wool in the Gang, which is very rare around here to find something like that. And I just kind of went ham buying like a lot. So this sweater took a lot of yarn, right? I still have 4 Sugar Babies in white and 1 in the Martini gray. It's called Martini gray. It's 100% purple, but it's called Martini gray, in case you're looking for the color. And then this one is just Snow White. But I still have a ton of this yarn left, so I'm excited to be able to just work with the baby alpaca because I didn't love working with mohair. I was trying to decide, we'll figure out mostly, if it was the fact that my needles are cheap. I don't have great needles and they're plastic, so when I knit for a long time, it does really kind of tear up my hands. My hands start swelling, they get really like tight. So I was trying to figure out if it was just my needles, if my hands were just giving up. And then I decided I was going to knit something else and just kind of see what happened. So I started knitting other things, and I knit like 800 headbands. We're going to take a brief break to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Mindful Knits. Mindful Knits is a Etsy page that I started back in 2021 as a way to sort of sell little gifts to people and honestly work out my anxiety about being pregnant. So I was pregnant with my son Jack, and knitting became a true source for me to relax and breathe. And Mindful Knits is now my little baby with that, and I am stocking up the store this year, and right now we are selling lots and lots of headbands. I have tons of different colors, and it has been so much fun and such a cute little release. Last year I was able to work up a bunch of Christmas trees, and I also sell some of my clothing projects on there. Like right now I do have the alpaca shawl that I made. The icy blue shawl is on there as well. So I am super excited to be officially sharing that with you all. I know that I have talked about it in the past, like, oh, I have an Etsy page, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm actually trying to stock it with products for you all. So pretty soon I will be having some of the face wash pads that I made in the previous video. If you did not get to see that, I'll link it up here. But I will be putting some of those on there pretty soon. And right now we've got headbands and the shawl and some Christmas trees left over if you're still feeling holiday festive. So feel free to check out the link below. Use the discount code YouTube and you will save 10% on your order. So as I was trying to knit these up, I just thought that my needles were cheap and that it was my needles. But then I started working on other projects and realized that, oh, it is not my needles. And just the mohair is really rough on my hands. It was not my favorite thing to knit with, and it feels very luxurious, right, in the skein. It feels very luxurious in the project, but while you're knitting, it just feels really, really rough. It made my hands super dry. It wasn't my favorite, and I don't know if that's just a me thing. So if you all have ever had an issue with mohair, or it's like not your favorite thing to knit with, please let me know and make me feel like I'm not alone in this, because I see so many beautiful creators making just stunning pieces of art with mohair, and I'm like, how? Now that I have officially made something with mohair, I'm like, how in the hell did you do that without your hands looking like this afterwards? Like, it just, they swelled up so bad, like they're so tight still, and it just, yeah. With my review on my actual sweater, there aren't very many boo-boos on it, actually. I thought there was going to be way more, like, holes. There's a little patch right here that I need to put together, and I think that that's the only one that I found so far. I did slip a stitch in the back, but it's not very noticeable because I did try to fix it, so it's not super noticeable in the back. If you do see it, you're brilliant, and thank you for pointing that out for me. I'll be self-conscious forever. But so that went on the back because it kind of ended up doing a little V shape and then going out. And I don't know why, because when I counted my stitches, they were all still the same amount of stitches. But somewhere I slipped a stitch and added a stitch, and I don't know how that would have happened, but it did. And it's okay because I did try to fix it. But I'm super, super proud of this piece. I'm very excited to finally own a hand knit sweater. I can't believe that I even said that. I went and I showed it to my mom and she was like, can you believe that you made a sweater? No, I can't. I am more stunned about this than I am the maxi skirt I knit last fall. Like, that doesn't even make sense. But I'm super excited to have it done. I just can't stop touching it because it's so cozy. And it's perfect for this really crappy weather that we have right now. I don't know what's going on. Like, the low country is just sad right now, guys. It was 16 degrees this weekend. And today it's supposed to be pouring and 75. How does that make sense? Explain that to me, please. I don't get it. That is it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed seeing my first knit project of the year. I am so excited to be sharing it with you all, and I'm excited to cast on the next project. The next project I'm going to be using, funny enough, more alpaca. So I got this Rowan. Wow, that looks red. Look how stunning that looks right there. Whoa. So I got this Rowan yarn. My mom actually bought this one because she really wants a pair of super cushy socks. So I will be, random hiccup, I will be casting these on very shortly. I think I'm going to give my hands a day or two of a break since I have been going pretty hard on this lately. But I'm going to make her a pair of red, kind of like slipper socks almost, using this amazing, this feels so good. I love Rowan yarn, guys. I've used quite a few different styles. I also have a tweed in there that I cannot wait to dig into. The tweed that's high on my list of yarns to use. But I will be using their alpaca, which I haven't gotten to try out yet, and I'm really excited to see how squishy this sock turns out. That's it for today's video. Please remember to check out Mindful Knits if you are interested or have any questions or any requests of things that you were looking for or wanting to purchase from me. Let me know in the comments or send me a message on Etsy. I'll link everything down below. Don't forget to use the code YouTube at checkout to save 10%. And if you liked the video, thumbs up, subscribe, stick around. We do all kinds of things here and it's so exciting. Stick around, enjoy the journey, and I will see you all next time. Bye.